Good morning, everyone. Pastor Wes here, and this is My Utmost for Satanta, our daily devotional, episode 9. Our passage of scripture today comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 19, verses 41 through 44. And this is Jesus speaking. As he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, he wept over it and said, "If you, even you, had only known on this day what would bring you peace. But now it is hidden from your eyes. The days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment against you and encircle you and hem you in on every side. They will dash you to the ground, you and your children within your walls. They will not leave one stone on another, because you did not recognize the time of God's coming." So, some of you know this. I don't practice it religiously, but I practice a keto diet as much as I can. It's a diet that's very low or has no carbohydrates and relying on protein and fat to make your body work. And I had a real interesting experience with it recently. I wasn't hungry, but there was a treat in front of me. I can't remember what it was, but it was a carb treat like chips or something like that. And so I took some because, I like them, even though I wasn't hungry. And the process of eating them actually made me hungry. So I was in this spot where I didn't need food and my body didn't want food, but eating it told my brain, "Ooh, this is good. You want more of this." And so I started eating to fill a hunger that didn't even exist. We are hungry people. If I were to describe the human condition, I don't know how I could get out of describing human hunger. We have this deep hunger for all sorts of things that I think we think will make us be filled, will make us be at peace finally. This sense of enough to fill our human ambition and our desire, but I think more deeply a deep spiritual need because we're born broken. When I was younger, I would say that was certainly true of me. Probably still true of me. I'm still a human being, but certainly I wrestled with this when I was younger. And I'll speak frankly, there were two things I really wanted. I wanted fellowship and the respect of my fellows, and I wanted the love of a good woman. And so I pursued those things as a young man growing up. I tried to be respectable, and I tried to be desirable, and I pursued those relationships, both kinds, friendships and romantic ones. And the more I experienced them, man, the more I wanted them. And then, of course, we all have that day when we look around and we realize it just isn't enough. And of course, I knew the answer. I just never thought about it. There's only one place where we can find peace and security and direction in our lives that works and that lasts and really fills us. And when I shifted that gaze onto Jesus, remember yesterday we talked about seeing Jesus? When I shifted my sight on Jesus, then I found peace and hope and security. And surprisingly, in pursuing that other vision for my life, I found the things I had wanted all along. I'm not saying that that will always happen, but it did in my case. And to bring this back to our Judeans, our folks of Jerusalem, there they were in Jerusalem, not exactly at its height, but doing well, a prosperous time. They had their walls, they had their armies, they were part of the Roman Empire, so there was some measure of peace, however coerced, and their temple. And they thought, with our faith, with our culture identity, with who we are, there we find security. And in the midst of them is Jesus Christ, where actual security resides. And what he's saying is, you can't see now, but someday all these things you put your faith in will come to dust. They'll collapse, and you will have missed seeing me. Friends, we are born hungry because we are incomplete. And we need Jesus Christ. And the consequence of not seeing Jesus Christ, as we talked about yesterday, is that we see all the things that we think, in our best human estimation, will fill our life, will make it complete, will give us peace. And the pursuit of those things will cause us to experience the opposite. We'll continue to be hungry and want more and more and more, and it will never be enough. And so I encourage you, see Jesus. Desire Jesus. Have a hunger for Jesus. Be filled with the living water that Jesus talks about, and it will last for an eternity, an eternal panacea. So friends, be hungry for Jesus. And Jesus, Until we meet again.